right, we're on Oholot, Perek Hey, Mishnah Zayin, 7th Mishnah, the 5th chapter, Masechet Oholot. We're talking about this, in the last Mishnah, we talked about this kfisha, this kind of like basket, as it were, that was turned over, and that could save from Tumah in certain situations. So we talked about the idea that it could save from Tumah. Let's go back to our picture. We talked about the idea that it could save from Tumah, okay, what was placed over a bore, over a dut. I said, well, what about on the side? So the Mishnah says the same thing would be true if you put it on a side. It says the Mishnah, just like it saves from Tumah, can protect from Tumah mi bifnim, on the inside, it could also save or protect outside if it's with divanot ohalim. We're going to see if it's with the walls of an ohel, of a structure. Ketzad. How does that work? If you have this kfisha, this basket, but I guess this basket had, there were different kinds of kfisha. In the last Mishnah we saw there was like flat, but all kinds of certain, like wicker baskets or whatever. So if it was placed on yetedot, yated is a stake, mibachutz, outside, and it's adjacent, says the Bartenura, samuch lakotel, adjacent to the wall. Shalote mishucha min hakotel tefach. It's close enough to the wall that it's like, it's not more than a tefach distant from the kotel. So you have your basket here and the wall here. We're going to see a picture of, we do that. Okay. As chashuva ohel, then it's considered an ohel, a structure, lafsik bein tuma shetachteha lekelim she'al gaba. Then it can be an interference between the tuma below it and the vessels on top of it. Okay. So that's what the Mishnah says. How does it work? If you have this baskety thing on stakes outside, mibachutz, tumei atach, tuma tachteh, there's tuma on it, kelim shebakfisha tahorim. If you have kelim inside the basket, they are tahorim. Let's look at the picture from Rav Posen. This is basically it. If you have kelim either on it or kelim in it, why in the world you would do this, I have no idea. It's adjacent, it's connected to the wall, so therefore it's somehow considered, it's an extension of the ohel. It's no longer a basket, it's an ohel, and therefore it's mafsik, it interrupts tumah. If the tumah is down here, it interrupts the tumah like an ohel. But imaya kotel chatz, it's only if it's an ohel, structure, the wall of an ohel, of a structure, of a like an enclosure. But imaya kotel chatzer, if it's a wall of a courtyard, or the wall of a garden, eino matzil, that it won't save. That's what the Bartenura says. Davka kotel bayit. It has to be the kotel of a house or a dwelling. Shenaseh kotel zel ohel. Okay, nechshevet kfisha gami ohel lavsik. So then this wall, the kfisha, becomes sort of, it becomes an extension of the structure. But if it's these are other ways of looking at it. But if it's only a gina, a garden, or a chatzer, a courtyard, kotel chatzer v'gina, lo techasher kfisha or lafsik. It doesn't work. Why? I don't know. That's the Mishnah. Eno matzil. Next case, very interesting case. Korash haitanu tunami kotel lekotel. If you have a beam that is built from one wall to another, ukdeira teluyabo, and you have a pot that is hanging on it, okay, and now tum'ah tachteha, and there's tumah under this beam. So let's show you the picture. Okay, we'll look at the picture here. You have a beam from one house to another, okay, and you have and there's tumah under here. So the beam is, you think about this. You have to look at this structure. This in and of itself is, think about it. This is an ohel. Why? Because you have a wall, you have a structure, you have a roof, and you have a wall. So this beam is an ohel. So if you have a tumah under here, if you have tumah here, it'll transport the tumah throughout in the entire thing. So therefore, the tumah can enter into this kidera, can enter into this pot. Okay, so the Mishnah says, okay, that's the case. Kidera tu le'abo, tumah tachteh, if there's tumah under the beam, kelim shebekidera, okay, then the vessels in the kidera. Let's have something in the kidera. Rabbi Akiva mitaher, v'chachamim tamin. Rabbi Akiva says, Torah v'chachamim, it's tameh. So what in the world is going on here? So the Bartenura says the following: Muchach betosefta. If you look in the Tosefta, you'll see that it's not all in one case. It depends on how the pot is hanging. If the edge, the lip of the pot is mishuchim, drawn from the lip of the beam outward, a distance of a tefach. Everyone agrees, sorry, the pot can't save you. Meaning if there's an opening of a tefach, the pot can't save you. The kelim are tamei. And if the pot is stuck to the korah, then everyone agrees it's tahor. Where's the argument? So therefore, if there's a poteach tefach, doesn't save. If there's not a poteach tefach, if it's no tefach at all, if it's stuck, then it does save. Ki pligi. Where's the argument in the Mishnah? Where it's drawn away, but not the distance of it. Not the distance of a tefach. And in that case, Rabbi Akiva mitaher, v'chachamim mitamin. Now the real question, interestingly enough, is what does it mean mashuach? So in the language of the Bartenura, it says sivtei akdira mishuchin misat achseira v'lachutz, outward. Okay, it's drawn outward. So therefore, Rab Posen, he draws it like this: that it's drawn literally, that the if the beam is here, that the thing is drawn outward, not vertically but horizontally. But it doesn't really make sense. Why should the fact, like if it's stuck here but there's an opening over there, why in the world? I mean, if you can see if there's an opening, why in the world would that make a difference? So I want to show you the picture from the Marot Chaim of Rav Scheinberg. Okay, this book I've told you about, Marot Chaim, well worth it. He draws it differently. He says no, it's not whether it's drawn outward, but he draws it how close, literally how far down is it hanging from there, and that makes a little bit more sense. Meaning, if it's tight, that's tight. If it's hanging more than the tefach, then the tuma goes in. If it's less than the tefach, that's a machloket. I actually find that explanation more compelling. Why in the world would it be if it's out, if it's far from the korah? Who cares? As long as it's stuck, how would the tuma pass through? And I guess but the language of misfara korah v'lachutz, that's pretty compelling, like Rav Posen describes it. All right, we'll leave it here. We'll stop here. We'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.